What's going on, guys? The Barber Phil here, back again with another haircut tutorial. And as you can see in my immediate reaction, what? That's exactly what I was thinking when my man walked in here. This is unruly. He said it had been 5 months since his last haircut, and honestly, I wish I had a picture of what his hair normally is doing. If you can picture it, normally he has his hair picked out and then straightened, and he takes it back. So almost, it's like a slick back, only he doesn't put product in it. It doesn't seem like it's normally just straightened, and it's so coarse and thick. He just straightens it, slicks it back towards the back. So what I'm going to do here, pick it out really well. I'm doing a long consultation with him, making sure that we get it exactly the way he's wanting to. He's saying he wants to leave a little bit of that weight right there that he's pinching now. So we're going to try to leave that as best we can. I'm going to pick it out, and then here in a second you can tell in this back crown area up top, you can kind of see it right where I'm picking right about now. There is a difference in length. There's like a dip right there. So what we're going to do, pick it out as best we can, freehand the top, cut that down to where it's even with that spot in the back, clip the sides just a little bit just so that we can get all the dead ends out of the way, because there were a ton of those, a ton of flyaways. I'm going to clip up the weight on the sides up into the top, and then we will fade the bottom half. It's a mid to high bald fade. We're going to leave it a little bit darker right at the top where that weight meets, and you'll see at the end it definitely still hangs over as it sits right now. It's almost like a fro that's disconnected, but if he's going to straighten it, it should straighten and lay right back down into it. Stick around, guys. It's a pretty big transformation, so stick around till the end, check it out, let me know what you think. So I sped this part up quite a bit because I end up coming back over top of it anyways with a shorter guard, but this is the magic clip with the Wahl Premium 1.5, lifting that weight up from the top, making sure that we go down with the growth of the hair. This is going to debulk it, get it set up to where we can come in, leave the darkness that we want to leave, and then we'll be able to fade up into that length. So here in a sec, I'm going to switch over to the cordless senior modified with the Addis master blade, and I have the ceramic cutting blade, so it cuts a little bit softer. This is the one guard closed, and I'm going to do the exact same step that I just did with that 1.5. It's just going to lighten it up a little bit more. But my only complaint when using the purple guards, because they have magnets, and then you have either metal parts on your cape or metal clips on top of their hair, the only thing I don't like is those magnets catch those metal clips or the buttons on your cape. So, you know, you got to give and take a little bit, I guess. Basically what I'm doing there is pointing out that there is his C-cup. We're going to start at the bottom of his C-cup, right at the top of his ear, or just below it. Arch it up and around his ear, and then drop it a little bit in the back. Immediately use the Slimline, flip it over, flick that line out. That way we can get right into the fade, and I know that my next clipper will take that trimmer line out, no problem. We won't have to come back in later and really work at a bald line. So you tap it in with it, you immediately flip it over, take it out with that same trimmer, and then you can go on with your fade from there. We'll get into it with the metal magic clip. We'll do an open section, and then we'll do all the way open, half open, all the way closed, and that'll immediately get us down to eliminating this trimmer line. So you'll be able to go from trimmer up through an open section, and then from there it's just connecting it into that one guard that we did, going down with the growth of the hair. So here we are, and I left these sections here on this side because it was a good angle. I left them in real time. I didn't speed them up. I wanted you guys to see the motions in real time and not the way they look sped up. So we're doing a 1/2 inch or so, maybe 3/4 of an inch open section. I'm going to close it up halfway here, go about halfway to 3/4 of the way up through that initial open section. We'll close it up all the way, take out that bottom line, and then, like I said, we'll be able to connect it from there. So we started things off by using that 1.5 down with the growth of the hair, and then we immediately followed it up by using the one guard down with the growth. Here we're using the one guard open, and we're flicking up through that one guard closed. here in a second, because what we did was we lifted this hair out and extended it to its longest length. As we come up through here, we're going to close it back up, use the one guard one more time, back down with the growth of the hair, and then the section just below this where you're connecting the open section up into that one guard down with the growth of the hair, we're going to use the 0 guard. It's going to immediately take that line out. I've got it closed up, but we're flicking out once we get to the top. I'll take the lever off in a second. We use just an open and closed lever, just kind of working it through there, hit dark spots throughout this section. And then you'll notice here in a second, in the next step, I actually do put the 0 guard back on, and I take it down with the growth of the hair just to soften this up. I did feel like this was a tad bit darker than what I liked it to be. Took the 0 guard down with the growth of the hair up top. Softens it up just enough to where I liked where we were at. And hopefully once he goes home and he straightens it, it's dark enough or long enough. It's not going to be long enough like on straight hair that a slick back lays down into the sides, but hopefully there's enough darkness there to allow that top to lay over into it, or at least blend into it, and then not look too incredibly much like an undercut. It might. I guess I'll just have to wait and see if he comes back in next time with it fixed. Most of the time when he comes in, he has it slicked back, so I was kind of surprised, even though he said it had been 5 months, that he didn't have it straightened. So that's what we did there. We've got the 0 guard. We're working up through here, lifting that hair up top just so that we get it out of the way. We don't want to clip up into that. From here, we'll take the FXs, bald them out at the bottom. I liked how close these FXs got, so I didn't even bother putting the shaver on them. Some hair textures react differently. Some of them, you know, you still look like you can see each hair follicle, so that's the ones where you may decide to use a shaver. And on the flip side, sometimes those are the ones that you don't, because those are people that may get ingrown hairs. But I feel like the FX has got this guy close enough. We left it alone. Fold his ear down. Make sure you get all that pesky hair behind his ear. Continue on to the back. We'll keep this fade going. I sped this side up quite a bit. We're going to let it ride. Guys, take a second after this video is over. Check out that Tomb 45 Online Academy link that I have in the description of this video, or any of my other videos. If you guys are wanting to further your education, take a second, look at that. You're going to get connected and access to some of the top guys out there, like Chris Bosio, S Craft Blends, Dre Cut It Out, Sean Cuts Hair, and Get Beamed. Those are 5 different guys that cut 5 different types of hair at times, or cut with different techniques. They use different tools at times. They've been doing it for different lengths of time, so some of them may have shortcuts that you can get by with. Some of them are going to, you know, their steps are going to align with what you do right now as it is more. Take a second, check that out. I guarantee you there's something that you can learn from that academy that you'll be able to take on to the shop and further your your career and better yourself in the industry of barbering. So we're using the FXs, just going ahead and putting some sharp lines on some stuff. We got the C-cup straightened up. We got his back bar on his beard. The top line is softened up some. Now we're just going to fade it down. So we use that Slimline to flick out the FX bald line. Now we're using a closed metal magic clip. Then we halfway opened it, all the way opened it, dropped down. That was the 1.5. We connected that to all the weight down at the bottom of the beard. Same exact steps here. And I actually, the left side of his fade was blurry. That's why it's already finished. I didn't put it in there. That's why I also kept the initial right side slowed down so that you guys could really stick with the steps there and see the motions. Now I am dry shaving him, so we're going to take our razor, stretch the skin, hold the razor at a 45-degree angle, bring it back to that line, keeping everything consistent. Brush that hair out of the way, make sure that we get that line as straight as we can. We get all that pesky hair out of the way. Now we're doing a 2-guard down with the growth. He did say he wanted to take his whole beard down, so I had him tilt his head back. We're taking this 2-guard down with the growth of the hair everywhere. As you guys can tell, it's pretty unruly down here as well. We're going to use the FXs, and once again, this is why I like my FXs. His hair is very coarse, and I was able to clean up underneath this beard, get it very sharp, really close, but use the FXs at the same time and not worry about them pulling. So You know, it's hit or miss, I guess, with some people whether or not they can use the FXs. I personally can, and once again, I apologize that was a little bit blurry. Now we're coming down through this, the 1.5, shorten it up just a little bit more, and then we will freehand give this bottom section a nice shape. And we've got a good transition from the bald section up top down through the beard, and now his beard is nice and cleaned up. And you guys can see I decided to go ahead and pick it out. I have no idea what this is going to look like once he straightens it. Hopefully he comes back in soon enough that I can actually see how it does. Next time we may have to leave it longer. But anyways, guys, that about does it for this haircut. Take a second, guys. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of the haircut. If I should have left it darker, maybe I should have left more weight right here, and then done the fade a little bit lower. It's just tough because he didn't come in with it fixed, so I don't really know what it's going to look like. Hopefully, this length on top is obviously long enough to do what he wants to do. So I don't know, guys. Hit me up in those comment sections. Let me know while you're down there. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you if you have. Turn on that notification bell so that you never miss another video from me. Sunday and Wednesday is the schedule as always. Guys, I greatly appreciate the support. Stick with me. We're going to keep grinding this thing out. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike it if you didn't. And until the next video, guys, you guys know I appreciate it.